Hello everybody, welcome back. As you can see, today's video is going to be about tapping. And tapping is a technique that I've always found that I had to be careful with because as soon as I put it in somewhere, it kind of started to feel so much of a technique that it kind of took away from the music. I don't know if it makes any sense, but it's a very overt technique. It's a very obvious technique. Same with sweep picking for me. It's sometimes hard to make it musical in the stuff I do. And so through the years, I developed a certain taste for tapping. And one thing that allows me to still use it is that instead of relying on, you know, the good old tapping patterns, stuff like that, I try to use it in a more of a scalar way. So basically as adding notes to a certain scale position. And today I'll demonstrate it very quickly. We'll use this little lick. And it's based around a very simple scale, the minor pentatonic scale. We're going to use it in the key of E. And so the idea here is to spread it out across the whole fretboard on only two strings, by the way, only first and second, and see how we can build a little pattern that's understandable so that I can show you what I mean, but at the same time is not mechanical, or maybe at least not too mechanical. If you want to see more about this, about spreading the pentatonics with tapping, I'll link a video up here. But for now, let's begin. We're going to spread it out, and we're going to go up to the 17th fret, the highest. And here's the notes we're going to use. I know there's no dots on this guitar, but you can rely on these steps, of course. And if you're my patron, as always, you'll be able to download a PDF of the whole exercise. All right, so here we go. We start with frets 15 and 17 on both the second and first string. Typical pentatonic sound, of course. Now we're going to move down 3 frets to 12 and add these two here. Same thing on the 10th fret, so same thing for both strings. Now things get a bit weirder here. It's 8 on the second G and 7 on the first B, and then it starts becoming the same again, 5 and 5, E and A, and then D and G on fret 3, and then we'll throw in the open strings. Okay, so again we have 17, 15, 12, 10, 8 and 7, and then 5, 3, and open. And this is what we're going to use. And before we get to the full thing, I would like you to practice maybe a few separate exercises. So we're going to work with 3 notes per string, and we're going to do this little pattern. We're going to go highest note, pull off to the lowest note with the index finger, and then hammer on with the middle note. So in this case, the 15th fret. So this is a cool exercise. Everybody can do it. You can start slow and get used to the mechanics. Right? Just like that. Now we're going to do the same thing with the next pair down, which would be 15, 10, and 12. As always, you'll follow here. As fast or as slow as you need to do it. Then we're going to go down to 12, 8, 10 on the second string, but then 12, 7, 10 on the first. So this is a bit weirder for the hand. You can leave the 2 fingers planted. I like to be a bit more flexible. I like to lift them up when I don't use them. Then we're going to do the same thing with 10, 5, 8, and 10, 5, 7, and then, and finally. Now we've played all possible combinations descending of these notes. We can now mix and match, and you can make it up for yourself. You could do maybe 4 of each, right? And get used to descending, get used to moving from one set to the next. You could do it twice, which is faster. You could do it 3 times, and that way you have to switch every time you move from second to first. And it can get a bit confusing. For the exercise I'm presenting to you today, I made a bit of a mix-up because I wanted to keep it interesting and musical. I'm starting with the first combination, the first fingering, and I'm doing it only twice, 1 on each string. I play on the second and on the first. Now, as I continue alternating second and first string, I'm going to move down to the next set, 15, 10, and 12, and actually I'll play 3 times, just like that, and then I move down to the next, and from the first string I played only twice, so 12, 7, 10, and 12, 8, 10, just like that. And then I move to the next one down, but now just to add a bit of difficulty here, I won't alternate strings, and I will play from the second 10, 5, 8, and 10, 5, 7, and again 10, 5, 8. And then when we get to the bottom, I will add the open string. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna play now, of course, from close-up. I'm gonna play really slow, and then at an intermediate tempo, and then maybe I'll try to play a little faster. And there you go. This is, of course, a very little demonstration and a very humble example of what you can do, but it will get your juices going as far as adding tapping to scale shapes instead of the usual single string arpeggios and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so if you enjoy this, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I love to make more. I love talking about guitar and playing guitar and teaching whatever I can, and so please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps a lot. A like would be greatly appreciated, and again, if you'd like to follow me on Patreon, there's a link below. Thank you so much. Bye bye.